Speaking of playing live, what is the most memorable show you guys have ever played?
Wow.
Dang. There's a lot to choose from.
Memorable. Well,
what was your favorite show you've ever played?
Oh fuck!
I don't know.
That's a great question.
It is a good question.
All right, think about it.
Yeah.
Alan,
you got an answer?
got an answer? Anything to share?
It's all with another band.
Actually, for me, I think my favorite show to play was the show we got back together on.
It was fun.
At Theater DeVille. It was the most rewarding show, I feel.
Yeah.
Because that was on kind of our own terms, you know. We didn't have to cater to anybody. And
my birthday shows at Cheers were always
his birthday shows at
a
Cheers.
blast. At least that I can remember.
When did you start doing those shows?
Start playing shows?
No, when did you start doing your birthday shows at Cheers?
What, 2000?
Actually, our very first show ever as Malcontent was a birthday show.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was our very first show at Live Music
So
Center.
technically, since 99, 98,
97.
97.
Had the pandemic not hit, would you have played your birthday show in 2020?
Probably.
Yeah.
We would have played mine.
Yeah, we were.
No, because Alan had the stroke.
Oh, that's
So
right.
we weren't doing anything.
We weren't even gonna. Yeah,
We actually got shutdown orders on my birthday.
that's right.
Ooh.
Maddie, what was your favorite show? What is your favorite show that you've ever played?
Yeah. What's your favorite show that you've ever?
Malcontent.
Oh, I was gonna say that was with.
Yeah.
I was execution style and
Execution style.
open up a Papa Roach. 500 kids. That's cool. Wait, oh, you're talking about Malcontent.
Look at this guy.
My favorite show,
We're
man,
holding
was that
drummer
one
auditions
time.
pretty soon.
He's like, my last one.
Yeah. Was that the parking lot of the Valley Liquor Store? Or whatever when Anthony put on the for his comic book store or whatever he had?
Oh
Remember
yeah.
that shit?
Yeah.
It was hot as balls.
Hot as
out.
balls. That tent wasn't protecting shit.
I'll never
It wouldn't do
forget.
nothing.
I'll never forget when Lux had their fucking lighting guy
Ah,
out in the parking lot,
Middle of the
dude,
day.
in the middle of the day,
Bright sun. Yeah.
acting like he was doing lights. He's all hitting their board and shit. And I was like,
We can't see it.
you can't see nothing. And then Paul from EMB, all his
But
gear.
Just the
Remember
fact
all-
you had your lighting guy on stage was weird, anyways.
But remember Paul, that same show,
Yeah.
Paul from EMB, all his
His equipment damn near
melted.
Melted. Yeah.
Like,
That's the bass player, yeah.
that was their guitar player.
Oh, the guitar player.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
He was their bass player
I would
for
say
a
he did
minute.
play bass for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, when he first joined EMB, he was their bass player.
Who came first, EMB or Malcontent?
EMB.
EMB.
Who came first, Papa
coming
Roach,
last, though.
Papa Roach or EMB?
I think P. Roach.
Yeah.
What was the one band that came up with P. Roach and Vacaville?
Skeptic.
Skeptic.
Yeah.
Never even heard of them.
Really? You
Oh,
know
yeah.
Javier from West Coast Fury?
Mm.
Pat Woods?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah, Skeptic. They were... What other bands were out there in Vacaville, Maddie, when P. Roach was coming up?
Bunch of bands. Man.
Oh,
Besides EMB, like,
was Gasser around?
Tijuana Gassers?
Monster Squad. or-
Monster Squad.
Monster Squad.
Yeah, Monster Squad.
Yeah, fucking.
Who else?
There are a bunch of fucking little local bands, man. Fucking Common Loss.
Common Loss.
Likewise.
No, that was coming up at around the same
the same
time.
time.
As
P.
Oh.
Roach.
What?
That was
P.
like,
Roach back in the
Oh, fuck.
P-Roach
Dude, are you
days.
kidding me right now, dude?
mid to late 90s.
Well, they're not from Vacaville. Nuclear Rabbit.
Yeah.
oh, Nuclear Rabbit.
Nuclear Rabbit.
Nuclear Rabbit.
We played with them twice.
Couple times.
Yeah.
That was always fun shows.
It was kind of crazy. I was talking with Vinny before the interview the other night, and he was talking about. He said, he goes, being, he's kind of been over different parts of the country. He said, because Vacaville bands would be like, man, there's nowhere to play. But he goes, you go other places, and they
There's
don't
nothing.
there's literally nothing. He goes, the other band, he goes, He goes, in actuality, Vacaville's spoiled. He goes, there may not have been a ton of...
That's where they were throwing barn shows.
Yeah, exactly. But when you think about it, Vacaville actually had
A huge music scene.
quite a few venues. And
They had hella venues at one point, dude.
yeah.
That was the one
The
thing.
thing is, even with Vacaville, though, even if there was nowhere to play, you're right in between San Francisco and Sacramento.
Yeah, you got
But that was the one thing about Vacaville that I used to love back in the day, dude. Is like you would drive through that town like on a weekend, and you'd see bands playing just in some random ass parking lot.
Yeah.
Like I remember over there off of by Domino's, off of Alamo, almost where Alamo and Peabody meet.
Mm-hmm.
I was driving by there. There's some bands playing in front of Domino's years ago, dude. I'm just like, that's why I fell in love with Vacaville, because like the music, dude. There was music everywhere. That's the one sad thing.
Whereas in Fairfield, they were chasing us out of
Yeah,
everywhere.
they were chasing us out everywhere. So that's why we actually claimed
Became a
that
Vacaville band.
became a Vacaville band, because Fairfield, we couldn't play nowhere in Fairfield. So we started playing Vacaville.
Well, what was the scene like before everything got locked down in Vacaville? I mean, was it?
It was dead. The scene,
It wasn't what it was.
no, the scene has never been the same since. The scene
Three Oaks
started dying once Three Oaks closed.
Yep.
I mean, it just took like a lot of years to where it actually became dead. Because Cheers and the Cabin were still doing their part to keep the scene alive. But when the Three Oaks Community Center fucking died, the scene wasn't far behind.
Why was Three Oaks such a
Scene.
big deal in Vacaville?
It gave the kids something to do, man. Like
And bands came from everywhere,
Everywhere.
to play it.
everywhere. Like we would get hit up by so many bands back in the day. Hey, you guys got an in to Three Oaks?
Yeah, can you get us in?
Can you
Can
get-
we open for you guys?
Yeah, we'll trade you out a show, and the trade out show was never as good as the show that we gave, like the bands that we brought into Three Oaks.
Except maybe the Petaluma bands.
Yeah, because they'd give us a show at Phoenix.
At the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Phoenix, yeah.
Those would be the Phoenix trade outs, and the Phoenix was always fun to play.
Yeah,
What
it was crazy because there was Incubus and Snot came up to open for Papa Roach at Three Oaks. It's just like, that's ridiculous.
I know.
It's just
So
crazy.
many bands that got huge that played there when they were like on the verge or like when they were nobody.
Yeah.
was there a moment in during that time that caused Three Oaks to stop doing shows? Was there like one event that just totally fucked it up for everyone?
Our
last Malcontent show there?
Last Malcontent show there.
Oh, so you guys are
That wasn't
responsible
our
for
fault.
that. Well, what?
We
Some
played
kid got laid out
in the mosh pit.
in the mosh pit, and
You
I
guys
remember
heard the story a ton of times.
you know, these
I don't
guys,
think I've ever heard this story. Actually.
these guys kept playing, and I'm like, dude, there's a kid laid out. I'm like, you guys stop.
We were a song and a half into our set.
Yeah,
I actually have it on video.
but the funny thing is, so he's
Maddie
all
finish
laid out.
Me and Maddie finish out the song.
Yeah, but the kid was like, I guess he was telling him, just drag me off to the side and let the show go. And I'm like, no. I was like, we can't do that. You need to get an ambulance, man.
The
So
paramedics came and
yeah,
But he was like, no, I don't want to leave. I want to watch the set.
he just wanted to drag him off to the side. I'm
He's
like,
like,
no,
"Pull me
dude,
by
it's
my-"
not like that.
I think he said, "Pull me by my feet off to the side."
Yeah, something like that. I was like, dude, we can't do that.
Did you guys know the kid?
No,
No.
no.
What happened to him?
His family didn't know.
I don't even know. I never heard officially what happened
The
to him.
paramedics came. They did take him away.
They took him on.
But
And thus ended the shows at Three Oaks.
actually, but that's not true though, because in 2008 they tried to reboot Three Oaks.
Yeah.
And they did a couple shows there, but they were never the same.
Well, they lost the kids of Vacaville. Three Oaks was their spot on a Friday night. Like that was just there was always bands there, so that's what you did. That's what you did every Friday night in Vacaville.
And
was
any
go
band that
watch
played
shows.
there would always get their merchandise.
Oh yeah,
Merchandise would sell out.
you
because
could
you would-
sell merch like crazy there.
You would feel like a rock star, like when you got done playing there. I remember we're playing and I'm on stage and I look out into the crowd and I see this. She had to be like 14-year-old girl trying to flash me, or she's trying to go like this to me, and she makes eye contact with me and she's like, and I just went like this to her. I was like, no, don't do it. Like, or they would get all excited. The kids would get excited by like touching my feet. Like when we would play, they'd be like, "Oh, I get to touch his feet and shit." Like you feel like you're a rock god when you left 3 Oaks Community Center. It was a great place to play, man.
He'd be signing autographs like just for quite a while. I remember this kid. He threw his Chuck Taylor up on the stage. He's like, "Dude, sign that." I was like, "Dude, your parents are gonna be pissed if I sign this." He goes, "Just do it." I was like, "Okay."
Good times, man.
You said his parents are gonna be pissed. Man,
I did.
How rock and roll is that?
Sorry.
Like your parents are gonna be
Hell
pissed.
Because I would have been like, no, it was cool. It was a fun.
3 Oaks
I
was
love 3 Oaks.
amazing. 3 Oaks was
Absolutely. It was so much fun.